Yo, what is going on, guys? Winter Kills here. Welcome to a brand new locals feature match. Feels good to be back. If you guys did not see the most recent feature match I posted, which is round one, I'll try to link that up in the top right for you guys to check out. It was Unchained versus Rescueaze, so if you want to see how that matchup played out, feel free to check out the video. And also, before we get started, reminder to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And yeah, we got some amazing donation incentives to fulfill before the year is out. Playing Earth Machine, playing Rika, Mermail, DDD, all decks that I've started looking back into recently, and I'm excited to play those. We're going to be doing giveaways, of course, as well as one of the donation incentives for our last One Deck One Month fundraiser. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, we're going to see Floowandereeze here facing off against Rescueaze. A lot of Rescueaze. This was also from a bit of a smaller tournament, our locals. It was a bit of a higher stakes tournament. We call them like mega tournaments where we are. And, you know, much higher buy-in, top cuts, and a higher payout for top cut participants. So you'll see a little redundancy in terms of matchups, but that's just because, again, there wasn't that many people. I think we had like 18 players or something, but $25 a entry with a big store credit payout and, you know, OTS packs, etc., etc. A lot on the line here, more than just your standard 4-round local. So we're going to see the Flu player, my man Tiny here, combo off as he does, Pot of Prosperity, you know, Eagle, Robin into M-Pen here. We did see a, I always forget the hand trap name, Impulse, yes, Impulse being fired off from the Rescueaze Duelist. That is going to get hit with a Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. That could bring out the level 6, the Fire Attacker, which if the opponent were to add a card from their deck to the hand, they could draw 2 and discard 1, which is kind of frightening considering that whatever they could draw into could be pretty bad for you. Could draw into more hand traps, could draw into board breakers, non-engine, engine, you name it. It's one hell of a card, so definitely stopping that, I think, was probably a good thing. You can't Ash Turbulence at the end of the day, so you might as well use it on something like that. So they're going to go ahead and set one and activate the Winds, and they also have the Dreaming Town set, most likely, so they can set up a you know, a Apex Avian play. They can set up, you know, a Ryza. And we're also going to see the Wanted go ahead and grab the Black Witch. And then we're going to see them go into main phase here. I assume they activated the Wanted in the draw phase, as is usually custom for most people to do that, just because it plays around Droll and Lockbird. And that would very much conflict here, seeing that he also has opened this Pot of Prosperity. So that would have been dead too had he not decided to try and play around it. And we're going to see him reveal 6 off the top, 2 Nibs, and Imperm, 2 copies of the Airlifter, and 1 copy of, I think, Alert is the name of that spell. Rescue and Alert do look somewhat similar, if I do say so myself, and I'm sure that some of you guys will be able to agree with me on that. It's just a slightly different shade of blue. One is like blue, the other one's like cyan or seafoam green. It's a little frustrating, especially when you're trying to do the commentary. So we're going to see them normal summon the Airlifter. That's going to go ahead and search a copy of Emergency. And that is basically just like E-Telly here for the Rescueaze deck. But that, of course, was a normal summon. So that does allow our Floowandereeze player here to get in on the fun. You normal summon, I normal summon. It's our normal summon. So Eagle, Stree, and there is that Apex Avian getting ready to shut down whatever play he might make next. Of course, that Unexplored Winds is also live, so he will be able to tribute off that Impulse. I could say Unexplored Wind is probably the, like, ever since Barrier Statue got banned, like, obviously M-Pen is a force to be reckoned with, but Unexplored Winds is just an absolute nightmare. Just the ability to be able to just tribute off any card your opponent controls at any given time, whether you're normal summoning off of map when they normal summon or using the trap card. Like, that's just such an incredibly powerful card. And they do decide to go ahead and summon out the Diabell Star. They're in defense position, importantly, but it's just going to get negated and destroyed by Apex Avian. They're going to follow up with Emergency, which is going to go ahead and allow them to special summon a Rescueaze monster from the deck in defense, then tribute a Rescueaze monster from their hand or field. And wouldn't be shocked if they went after either Hydrant, or they're going to go for Turbulence here and then get rid of a Hydrant in hand. And on the summon of Turbulence, we're going to fire off that map. And they've seen enough there, as the birds are going to get rolling it again, and they're probably just going to tribute off that Turbulence, and that's going to be a wrap. So we're into game 2, and we're going to see the Rescue Ace deck, no surprise there, decide to go first, but first, before things get started, let's make it interesting. Throw a draw phase Dimension Shifter in there. So now everything that hits the grave this turn and the next is going to get banished instead, which, the Rescue Ace deck isn't, at least from what I can think about right now, isn't going to care a whole lot about that, but it is going to make things a little bit difficult. Of course, Turbulence special summons himself by banishing Rescue Ace cards from the graveyard, and you can't do that, of course, if there is no graveyard, but there is other ways, of course, to get the Turbulence on the field. One way is doing that would be via Emergency, and I just want to quickly read Turbulence, which for some reason I have not pulled that up on my dueling book page here. There it is, one of the most important Rescue Ace cards. Yeah, so special summon it by banishing 2 Rescue Ace cards from the graveyard. Yeah, so that is not going to be an option this turn or the next. So they are going to use Emergency here. And it looks like they're also going to chain the Alert to add a Rescue Ace. Looks like they added Airlifter there. And, yep, just as I imagined, they'd be getting Turbulence out on the field with Emergency, and Turbulence is going to resolve. No Effect Veiler can be fired off here. It's one little unfortunate confliction with D-Shifter and Effect Veiler. And I think our Floo player just flashed to us there. Two big wind monsters in this hand, Apex Avian and Mega Ryza, which is not the exact things you want to see in your hand going second into a board like this. They do have Hydrant on field. They do have Turbulence. Turbulence did resolve. So that's going to be a little unfortunate. Pot of Prosperity will go ahead and start things off here for our Floo player, banishing 6. Artemis Slay, Thrust, Eagle, Advent, and Dark Ruler, and they're just not even going to bother, as, Ultimate Slay, it used to be called Ultimate Slay, Ultimate Slay and Dark Ruler really aren't going to do anything here to out the back row. Yeah, it looks like the rest of the hand really was more so the issue than what he revealed off the Prosperity there. So they're just going to Mitt Defeat and go into a game 3 situation here, starting off with Advent in the draw phase, and then chaining rather D-Shifter. So another D-Shifter here. Our Rescue Ace player will have to deal with. Rescue Ace Duelist will have to deal with here, and go and search the map and map an Eagle, and banishing the M-Pen. And they are going to attempt to chain Imperm on the Eagle. It's a pretty solid Imperm there. Would have been much better to have that Advent for the Eagle. But, yeah, I'm not sure what the rest of the cards in our Floo player's hand is right now. So I'm not sure if maybe using that Advent when they did was absolutely necessary. I'm not entirely sure. But I do know that is a great card to dodge Imperm, and if there's one thing that's going to hurt getting Impermed, it's definitely going to be Eagle getting Impermed. But, I mean, you do have a couple things going for you, right? D-Shifter is still live. You still have Map online. They still have Robin in hand. So they're choosing to play a little bit conservative here. And they're going to start draw phase Wanted. I really didn't like this Diabellstar engine. I really didn't understand it a whole lot when it first came out, but now that I've had the chance to play it myself in Infernoble Knight, I really, really, really like the engine. And I also like that it's not super generic. Like, if your deck has a level 1 Fire Warrior, you can play it. If you don't, you don't play it. But that's also not necessarily true, because the Snake Eye is not the only thing that the Dark Witch can grab. There's other things that it can grab with it. So, I mean, it is a pretty cool engine. Be interesting to see how it evolves and how it's used over the coming months with how the meta, I feel like, will change a little bit. We have the Centurion stuff, and we'll probably be getting a new ban list sometime relatively soon. And they're going to normal summon Airlifter, and that'll proct the map to go ahead and activate here. Airlifter will grab Emergency. Robin is now going to resolve to get a bird. And they're going to grab Eagle. And immediately after, normal summon the Eagle. Activate effect here. Unless they have something to activate in response. Looks like they're not going to opt to chain anything. They're going to go ahead and grab M-Pen, and they will tribute summon M-Pen. And then Chainlink 1 M-Pen, Chainlink 2 Eagle, Chainlink 3 Robin. That's going to go ahead and grab Advent and get all that advantage back to the hand. That is quite a bit of advantage for next turn. Just could be problematic here considering our Rescue Ace player is still under D-Shifter. And now still also has to worry about M-Pen. They're going to go ahead and special summon out the Diabell Star by getting rid of that Pot of Prosperity. And I just want to read the Diabell Star here. Special summon this card from your hand by sending one card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Okay, so it's all part of an effect, not a cost to send the card to the graveyard. It doesn't have to hit the grave. So that is still something you definitely can do under Dimension Shifter. Now, if it was worded like you can special summon this card by discarding one card from, or sending one card from your hand to the field, or send one card from your hand to the field to the graveyard, semicolon, special summon this card from your hand, right? Then you wouldn't be able to do that because you can't meet the activation requirement. But it's a good card, so they didn't word it that way, which is really nice. So now they're going to go ahead and activate Emergency, and that is going to go ahead and special summon out the Turbulence, and they're going to have to tribute off, so they'll get rid of the Airlifter, and of course the Emergency will also get banished, and they lose that graveyard recursion that Turbulence has, allowed to set back a trap, I believe, and Turbulence is going to resolve now, setting 3. Emergency, Alert, and Rescue. And they have, looks like either Extinguish or Contain. I think it's Extinguish in the hand. Again, Extinguish and Contain also look very similar. Just a different orientation of a green box in the artwork. So they're going to set 1, set 5 from a mid-range deck. And they'll pass turn. And standby main, and do I see a Harpy's Feather Duster? Also, I know the hand shuffles seem intense. It's because this video is sped up about 180%. And I didn't want to go 200 because it'd be a little too fast. So those hand shuffles, and I know there's always somebody who complains about it, and I understand, but like, they aren't actually hand shuffling that fast. The video is just sped up. And I have to explain that because some people don't understand that. So it is what it is. So they're going to go ahead and activate Emergency. That is going to go ahead and bring out Preventer, tribute off Turbulence. And I'm not sure what the Flu player has said in order to get them to immediately go ahead and shotgun the Emergency. But there's Harpy's Feather Duster. The Snake Eye is set. The Rescue, the Alert, and I still can't tell what that trap card is. It looks like it is Contain. So Contain will be used on the M-Pen. Target one effect monster your opponent controls this turn. That effect monster cannot attack. Also, its effects are negated. And he doesn't have Hydrant, so he does not get the extra effects. And he'll use the other one to bring back the Turbulence, and the Duster will resolve. That is one hell of a card to have there. And the map will get popped, but he's like, you know what? I've got another map. It's fine. And yeah, this is looking rough for Rescue Ace. Very quickly, that top decked Harpy's Feather Duster putting in a monumental amount of work here. And they can use map, reveal Eagle, banish Toucan, Chainlink 1 Eagle, Chainlink 2 Toucan. Adding the Toucan back to the hand. And Eagle is going to go ahead and grab a Big Bird. It's going to grab Apex Avian. Try to establish that Omni Negate here. And they'll tribute off the Big Bird and the Eagle for Avian. And then they're going to use Eagle effect. in the graveyard to go ahead and add itself back to the hand, and they're going to chain Preventer, and they'll negate Preventer effect with Apex Avian. That'll proc the Preventer in the graveyard, especially when a Banish Rescue Ace. That's going to bring back the Airlifter. Airlifter will go ahead and search for follow-up here. And now they're just going to normal summon Robina. Robina's going to grab the Stree, and Eaglin will add itself back to the hand. And they're going to normal summon the Eaglin. And Eaglin is going to go ahead and banish the M-Pen. And then Toucan's going to grab back the banished M-Pen here. Then tributing over the Robin and the Stree for M-Pen, adding back the Robina. And the M-Pen here is probably going to go ahead and search. Okay, we're going to grab the Dreaming Town, I guess. I was kind of expecting maybe going for the Unexplored Winds, but this probably also works out just fine too. Normal summon Apex Avian again, and they'll add back the Toucan. We'll go into battle phase here and attack into the Turbulence and use M-Pen's effect to cut its attack and defense in half to get over it. And then thinking about to attack here with the Apex Avian, they're going to get rid of the Airlifter, set Dreaming Town and one other card. I think that's an Advent. And looks like they're going to go ahead and pass turn here. A very grindy game 3 here so far. And I think they've drawn Imperm for turn. Another Preventer in hand. They're going to go ahead and activate that by banishing the Airlifter. And looks like they're going to go ahead and negate here with Apex Avian. And that is going to proc Preventer here since it did hit the grave. They're giving a quick read over. And that is going to allow them to bring back a banished Rescue Ace. It's going to get back the Airlifter. They're also going to use Dreaming Town as well. Allow them to normal summon Eagle. Grab back the Toucan there, I think it was. And they're going to grab another M-Pen. And then a normal Robin. Robin will grab back. Stree will grab itself back and the summon a Robin. And Robin's going to go ahead and grab another Eagle. And now they're going to go ahead and conduct another tribute for another M-Pen. And they're also going to use the effect of Dreaming Town in the graveyard to basically Book of Eclipse the opponent's field. And they'll add back Robin. And then now they're going to go ahead and search the Unexplored Winds. And they're going to keep going here. Normal summon Stree. And they're going to take a look at the opponent's graveyard, see if there's anything there they want to banish from it. I think the best thing would maybe be Emergency, because I know that has a graveyard effect. But banishing Turbulence is interesting just because, you know, if Preventer hits the grave again, it can bring that back. But they're going to normal summon Toucan. Toucan will add back the Dreaming Town, and we're going to tribute summon again here for Apex Avian. So double M-Pen and Apex Avian plus Book of Eclipse here, putting our Rescue Ace player in a very, very tough position. And one set card still there, which I think we know to be Advent of Adventure. They're going to activate Emergency. And if you're going to negate something, I feel like Emergency is a pretty solid card to negate. They do have HQ. So they'll slap that down onto the field, and they'll get to recycle, I believe it is 5 Rescue Ace cards back into the deck. So they're going to choose Preventer, Emergency, copy of Rescue, and Emergency. Oh, it's 4. I thought it was 5. So I'm going to go ahead and put back 4 into the deck. My apologies. And I believe they draw 1, Imperm, and they draw into Ash. So they've just got Ash and Imperm in hand. And they can flip up the Diabell Star this turn since it was not summoned this turn. And they're just going to go battle phase, crash into the M-Pen, take a little bit of damage there. Use Snake Eye in the grave to go ahead and put back the Diabell Star to the bottom and add a level 1 fire. So they'll go ahead and add the Fire Hydrant. And they'll normal summon Fire Hydrant, activate Fire Hydrant effect. So they've still found a way to get to some engine here despite all that. That Snake Eye being left in the graveyard coming in very clutch. That actually should have been what they banished there off of the Stree. Yeah, that was definitely a misplay there. Had they banished that, they'd be completely dead in the water, and I don't think they'd even have a play. I mean, yeah, they have Ash and Imperm. Maybe it's worth just holding out one extra turn to see if the Ashen Imperm could be potentially enough, but they do have Unexplored Winds in hand, and that's going to make that Imperm next to useless. They're going to go ahead and get a Turbulence on field, and now they're going to resolve Turbulence, setting just the 2 quick play spells there, and they're going to reset one back, and just like that, they're kind of reestablishing their board here, despite things looking very, very grim there. There really was that Snake Eye engraved that should have been banished off the street. And it would really have prevented all of this. They just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards back off of that card being able to resolve just by getting access to Hydrant again. And they have Ash Imperm. So it's gone from having just Ash Imperm to having Ash Imperm plus a full board. But Unexplored Winds is kind of a nice card. Plus they have a ton of engine in their hand as well. So we're going to start by playing the Unexplored Winds. And then they're going to go ahead and Tribute Summon immediately by getting rid of an M-Pen and the set, which they know to be the Contain. And just tribute over that for an Apex Avian. They're going to try to add back Toucan and add back Stree. And they're going to Chain Emergency. And they're going to try to negate that emergency with the Apex Avian. And every time they use this Apex Avian, it gets bounced right back to their hand. That just gives them another opportunity to put it right back onto the field. Which is problematic, because that's an Omni Negate you keep giving the opponent over and over again. So I wonder if imperming that there was maybe worthwhile, because it stays on the field at that point, and then it's kind of awkward for them to get it back to their hand. They really probably don't have a way to get it back to their hand. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe using the imperm there potentially could have been worth it. But they're going to continue on here. I think they've used a map already to try to get their additional normal summons going. And they're going to tribute over the set, the unknown set, which in this case is the Imperm. They're going to attempt to use M-Pen. That's going to get ashed, since they surprisingly didn't have any chain blocks left there. And now they're going to go Battle Phase and use M-Pen effect. Banishing an Eagle from hand, again, to cut down the attack and defense of the big beefy Turbulence. But they're going to go ahead and rescue it right back. And then use M-Pen again a second time, getting rid of 2 Eaglins. And then Toucan over the... while crashing into the Hydrant. Is gaining a little bit of attack because of HQ. And then they're going to Prosperity in main phase 2. And they're just going to go ahead and admit defeat, as the resources have probably been completely exhausted at this point and can't keep up with the grind game of Flu. But that Snake Eye was pretty clutch, I gotta say. But we're going to see Flu take it 2-1. And last but not least, a big shout out goes to our current Divine level channel members, who are Green, 88 Cyber, Mizfid, Cadillacs, and Pony Stark. Thank you guys so much as always for your very, very kind and very generous support of the channel.